This video is a continuation of another video. This is page 2, and this is example 1 about the deer, and letters C and D are going to be in this video. Letter C says to use the unit rate of deer per square mile, which is also y over x. That'll get talked about more later, but you can connect that to your science class with the y being the dependent variable and the x being the independent variable. If you take y and divide it by x, you get the unit rate. To determine how many deer there are for every 207 square miles. So I know a lot of kids are able to just go straight to a calculation on this, and that's fine, but I'm going to show this as kind of like a proportional situation. There are 9 deer per 1 square mile, but they're wanting to know about 207 square miles. So if I were to write another ratio next to this and look at equivalency here, like the fact that they need to be equal to each other, you have 1 and now you have 207. 1 to 207 is like a multiplier of 207. So the deer, there would be 207 times as many deer. So you multiply that top number by 207, and that gives you 1,863. Yeah, I'm just going to circle that like it was the missing number, and then we're going to answer it over here. 1,863 deer in that 207 square miles. Letter D says, use the unit rate to determine the number of square miles in which you would find 486 deer. So this time they're telling us 486 deer, and we have to find the square miles. So I personally, I would just set up this 9 deer in 1 square mile and then use another ratio next to it. This time I'm looking, I have 486 deer. So I would have to match the deer up with the deer. 486 deer on top. And then this time I'm looking for this number. Now a lot of kids are able to figure out that, they know what calculation to use here, but some get very confused and are not sure. So I can see here that I have 9 that's getting changed into 486, and I just don't really know, off the top of my head, what 9 multiplies by to get 486. But I could take 486, divide it by 9, and that gives me 54. So I know that 9 times 54 is equal to 486. So then I would just have to take this 1 and multiply it by 54, which gives me 54. So 54 square miles. So these problems are very different from each other in terms of, in this one, we just had to take the 9, multiply it by 207 to figure out that missing number. But in this problem, we had to take, we had to figure out what the 486 divided by 9 was, which was 54. There's some vocabulary down here at the bottom. Mainly right now we want to be focused in on the fact that the K is the constant of proportionality, and it's the same as the common unit rate or the common multiplier. All of these other things that are talked about here with the equations and the variables, those will all come into play later.